Hi everyone, I'm Kate, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about coping skills. So, the difference between good ones and bad ones, and maybe some suggestions on what you can do to kind of shift your focus a little bit. So, if you don't know what coping skills are, it's just kind of the way that we deal with stressors. I did a little poll on my Facebook page with just my local friends and family because I wanted to see generally what most people do nowadays to cope. With the pandemic behind us, a lot of people kind of isolate now, which is actually not a good coping skill, but I just wanted to see kind of where everyone falls. So I will go over those in a little bit. I have my phone here to just kind of read some of them and talk about them. So let's go right into maladaptive coping skills. First one I have written down is disassociating, and that can be with yourself or with the people around you. So, feeling disconnected from the world, being very withdrawn is a way that we kind of cope. It's like pulling away to protect ourselves. So think about that. Is that something that you do? It could be, like I said, a specific trauma response or just an overall like a stressor or situation, and that's how you cope with it. Another one I have is self-soothing. So when I say self-soothing, I'm thinking instant gratification. So I don't feel good right now. What is something that's going to make me feel good right now? Quick fixes like binging on TV, alcohol, smoking. These things are all fun in moderation, but and are self-soothers, but can quickly become compulsive behaviors that really negatively affect us because, these are things that we do to deal with stressors head on, but we're not really, we're kind of going over the stressor. We're not going through it, if that makes sense. Another one I have written down is obsessive behaviors. So, those obsessive behaviors, trying to feel in control. So you kind of over focus on something. So obsessively cleaning your house, working out. Are you working out 7 days a week, nonstop? You can become obsessive with your hobbies, with work. That is probably the most common one to become, obsessed with and just completely avoid what's going on and do these things and say, well, I'm working, so it's validated. I'm working out, it's validated, it's healthy. The next one is excessive behavior. So we just talked about obsessive behavior, and the next one is excessive behavior. So I think about people that gaslight or manipulative or abusive. I also like to include becoming, being a victim in this one. So those are some examples of maladaptive coping skills, and I am guilty of doing a couple of them, and it's fine. It's part of life. It's how I've dealt with things so far in my life. And moving forward to healthy coping skills, meditation and or breathing. I think this one is really good because it's the first thing that helps that nervous system get aligned and back in order. And it's the easiest thing to do to get your nervous system back in order. I'm going to say yoga next. And the reason I say this one is because it connects the mind with the body, which if you are someone that disassociates or you have trouble connecting those two, doesn't come easily for you. I think, in fact, most people have an issue connecting those two. And this specific activity does force you to connect them two. And it really is helpful in getting those systems back in order. Working out is great for you. I personally like to use this as a stressor or a coping skill because I am not thinking when I'm working out, and it's great for my body. And I am getting out that energy, like that stagnant energy, or I get out my anger or my frustration or whatever. Talking to a friend or a therapist, journaling, talking to yourself. I use my voice memos sometimes, and I will just let loose in my voice memos because I don't want to say this to anyone, but I need to say it. And that helps me kind of organize it as well. So when I posted that on Facebook, I said, what are some things that, you do? And I have a couple people say they turn their phone off. That's a great one because having like instant access to everything all the time, it negatively affects our brain. Like we're just constantly comparing ourselves and avoiding things. Like if I want to avoid something, I'm going to get on my phone because I'm not thinking about anything but what this person's kid looks like going to school. You know what I mean? Also, some people say that they isolate, which I think is a really common one. You're not alone. Spend time with friends. That's a really good one. Like I said, as long as your friends are, like-minded and we're doing the same thing. If you have a group of friends that only want to drink and you know that you're going through something, maybe you want to look for a different friend to hang out with, maybe one that likes to go to the beach and relax, something that calms that nervous system versus a depressant. Someone said drinking and spending money though. So she had a laughing face because she probably knows like that's terrible. But like I said, all of these things are fun in moderation. It's just we want to learn how to kind of bring it in when it's appropriate. So if you are someone that is benefiting from my videos, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for listening, and remember to be nice to yourself.